Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, the doo-dah day.
Good evening, folks. I'm Dan Hollifield. Welcome to Last Man Standing. And it seems that the streaming service we have been using for these many years to bring you these shows has decided, in its lack of infinite wisdom, to double the prices to be able to do this with the quality that we have right now, just twice as expensive. So we're looking into alternative methods of continuing the shows. But if we can't decide on something, then when this subscription to this service runs out, so do all of the Stupid O'Clock, Armchair Rocket Science, and Last Man Standing shows. That'll be it. Not going to pay 8 months worth of groceries to be able to continue doing the show. So, voila. Of course, we probably got another 6 to 8 months before the subscription runs out. We shall see. I do not have the faintest idea, and at the moment, there is no way for me to check that I know of. So, with that, let's just party on and try and make most of the little time that we've got left. With me tonight, we got Aunt Donna, and Joe Bachman is sitting down and putting his headset on right now. I'll bring him up momentarily. And
Nah, go ahead and show him sitting down.
You just want to see him standing up.
I did that Saturday.
Hello, Carl. And Thesis is saying that his internet is garbage, probably because of the hurricane.
Out in Utah?
Hey, I don't know. What might
No,
be sunspots? I don't know.
it's Utah. Lucky he's got any kind of internet. Sorry,
Uh,
Thesis.
True.
Truth is truth.
it's
But
probably the church out that way found out he was hanging out with us and decided to put a stop to it. Uh, ah,
and I'm just gonna, say this first. I love you like a brother, Nick, but Bladed's internet is probably still more reliable.
Oh, shoot. Have you informed Nick about?
Yes, Nick and I talked about that the other day before his show. So I want to know who Nita and Luke spoke to at StreamYard to find out that they're locked in at the legacy rate. Because
yeah.
when I contacted StreamYard, just basically saying, "Hey, I'd like to know what my price is going to be next year," they're like, "Oh, well, we do offer discounts to returning customers, and it'll depend on what it is at that time." That no, you can tell me what it is now.
Would have to be a hell of a discount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Say something less than what we're already paying now, uh, with the same features. Which means I've got to look up everything I've got saved to use here and make sure that I've got recordings of it all. The logo, any incidental good night everybody's that I don't use. Still trying to find a decent copy of almost the end of the show. I can't figure out how to download it from Stupid O'Clock. And
Oh,
Joe
not
Dog
the
goes,
green
"Oh,
room."
just pull up. I've got not the green rooms, or at least the ones that I made, or Richie's that I adapted. All I had to do is convert it to a whatever the file format was and upload it. But
Well,
know,
we've got 6 months. We'll find
it
something.
could be. I don't know. I don't know how long it's. I don't remember when Joe Dog and I discussed the price of the membership, because we are using Joe Dog's account.
Mm-hmm.
I have a free account, which is also going to go up in price, even though it says free.
well, they'll still have the free account. Just the basic is the current basic is going up in price.
Yeah.
My biggest concern, honestly, is Nick's show.
Yeah.
Because I mean he can stream through StreamYard fine. I don't know how his internet would handle going through OBS.
Maybe
Yes.
it'll be better.
And it might be.
But
and
as I said, it's a steep learning curve.
Yeah. It's a steep learning curve, and I would need to show him how to get the chat to still show up on the screen, but it wouldn't be in a way that he wouldn't be able to read every comment.
Yeah.
That might be a good thing. We have the Witsman dude to teach you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I am looking at the Streamlabs thing just to see, how easy that would be to be able to have multiple people on.
I would like to be able to definitively answer Joe Dog's question about, you sure that price that's less than what we're paying right now for this one is not actually the price per month? And I'm going, it says per year.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna have to look into that, and how many destinations it can go to, and how many guests you can have on at one time, and the custom logos and things like that that we have gotten used to since the arrival of the plague.
Hmm.
Um, Most of OBS is on your computer. Uh, Nick would have a lot of stuff to do, and adding guests is a pain. Um, Now, you mentioned on the other show that Streamlabs is the pay version of OBS, so perhaps they have streamlined that somewhat. But we this is going to be some research here. Um,
Mm-hmm. Well, the adding guests wouldn't be too much of a problem for Nick, as he seldom has guests.
But the thing would be that if his internet goes wonky, I wouldn't be able to just pop in
Mm-hmm.
and take over.
yeah.
You know,
Oh well.
yeah, it'll be a learning curve. You know, and I'm sure we'll find something.
Or maybe they'll come to their senses. Stranger things have happened.
Not that
Yeah.
strange.
Well, if they get enough people threatening to leave their platform, somebody might decide that's a bad idea. Or we could all leave their platform and then they decide, hey, this was a bad idea. Let's go back to the old payment plan. Um,
We'll see.
hey, it's just one of those things. Life is always throwing you curveballs. Now we've got to figure out how to make lemonade out of them. To mix my metaphors.
I'd rather you made margaritas out of them, but okay.
I'd be amenable to that. Carl, I do not know. You're going to have to explain that comment. Is the current plan where unlimited? Um, as far as I know, no, it is um, the pro plan, which is what it's getting doubled in price. And they're basically doubling the price just because they want to rename it. I'm sorry, they're going to have to learn. If you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig.
I bet it's a prettier pig. At least Kermit thinks so.
Well, I started to say only in the eyes of another pig.
Or a frog.
Oh, Carl, Joe Dog, we are splitting the price of the pro plan, but with how much it's going up, even if I pay half of it, he's still going to balk because they keep raising the price every year. I could go it on my own, but like I said, that's 8 months worth of groceries they're asking for.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. No, not a good business plan at all. Driving your customers away is not a good business plan. Well, as we keep saying, we've just now discovered the announcement, and Events will eventually eventuate.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens. I can't. Oh, experiment with Discord. Yes, please do. Um, I can't get Google to give me a straight answer as to whether or not you can uh, live stream Discord to YouTube, or if you've got to get another piece of software and record your Discord chat and then upload it to YouTube. So, throwing us for 6 here. I mean, basically, everybody that has been doing Rising Tide or NDCD using that service is going to be looking for a different service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do not think I brought enough beer back here tonight.
Is there any such thing as enough beer, though?
Yeah, I have actually been drinking less than normal, but tonight may prove to be an exception. Oh. And we're all out of grandma's rheumatism medicine, so
Oh no.
I'll talk to you later about that.
Granny better get busy and make some more.
I don't think it's Granny. They're always making more. Let's just say for what I spent on the cast iron stove for the new barbecue, I could have paid next year's at the inflated rate. I can't be doing that every year. I'm retired.
I forgot how good Coke out of a glass bottle actually tastes.
Oh, yes. And they've got the ones with the real sugar in them at the grocery store.
That's what this one is.
Yeah. I mean, that's another company that shot themselves in the foot and lived to regret it. I remember when New Coke came out and everybody's going, time to start switching to Pepsi.
Well, my feeling behind Coke is quit changing the recipe, and if you're going to change it, put it back to the original that had the cocaine in it.
You get all kinds of recommendations from the doctors that used to do cigarette commercials.
Mm-hmm.
If any of them are still with us. Because that was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and Richie, bit of good news. Richie said that, what was it? Dark Shadows was on a streaming service now?
Yeah, Amazon Prime, I think he said. I saw it.
I've only got 1,000 episodes of that on the hard drive. I'm still missing some. I had forgotten how slowly paced that was, but then I remembered it was a soap opera.
Yes, it was. My dad loved that show.
I was quite fond of it. I was introduced to it by an older cousin who came down every summer to babysit my brother and sister and I because my parents were both working full time. And that was her favorite show. So we had to run home from school real quick to be able to watch it.
Oh, good Lord. I just found something I want to order for Nick.
Uh-oh.
Oh, dear. Hang on a second.
It's a cryptid construction kit.
He doesn't need that. He already is a cryptid. He's already constructed.
I just want to be there when he sits there and looks at one and goes, "Hey, I know that guy."
Over 100,000 combinations that you can do.
Wow.
He could build a miniature of himself. I'm going to catch so much flack if he watches this.
Your contact list looks a lot like mine.
What's that?
Your contact list is almost identical to mine.
Right?
Yeah. That's why we have such a good time at the conventions. Okay, Carl had something here. If you pay monthly, the change takes place next month. If you've already paid for a year, which is what we've been doing, sounds like you're good to the end of that time period. Trouble is, I do not remember what month. I do not remember what month it was that we paid for the yearly subscription.
I came in at the right time, didn't I?
Yeah.
I guess.
End of March.
Okay, so we got at least the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hello,
Dawn.
Dawn.
Hey, Don.
Hope you're having fun at your family thing. Your other family, that is.
The original owners tried to buy back the company, but it didn't work out. And Carl's saying hey to Dawn. And
Joe Dog.
Joe Dog, you still gonna be on NDCD 411 on Monday?
Shit. I guess.
He forgot all about it.
If y'all don't remind me, is right now my brain is Hallowcon and issues.
Yeah.
The Monday show is going to be about Hallowcon.
Yeah, well, that's not a. If I don't get this fixed, we ain't having a convention.
We're still coming down.
Yeah.
I've already got rooms. I mean,
I already got rooms.
Yeah.
We got-
Dawn, just get with me because I'm cutting out. But yeah, I was gonna pop in and say I don't believe it, but
don't believe what?
whatever y'all are saying, I know you're telling some kind of lie somewhere.
Yeah, you missed a few things. Okay, that's a good question, Dawn.
Do it right, man.
Whose freaking show is this, Joe Dog? Do you want me to see if we can get our featured folks to join in as well?
Are they past attendees? I don't know.
Okay, you got two of them right here tonight, so I guess you mean me
I
and Donna.
guess. Yeah, Donna can tell about the good stuff we do. Good stuff.
Like Poppin' Don's cherry at the Waffle House. We have 5 Waffle House cherries to pop this time. We are coming down whether there's a convention or not.
Well, short of a hotel fire, there's there's a 99.9% chance there'll be a Hallowcon.
We'll be there.
We'll be there whether there's one or not. We'll just have
That's
our own.
just you, Carl. Witzman dude. Witzman dud.
I found out that I might have a conference to go to that Friday, so I might try to pop in to say hello a little bit before going back to Chattanooga.
You mean the one at the Trade Center?
Yeah.
So, damn, where'd Carrie go?
Like you didn't know. You're the only other one with ops here.
We don't mention that, and yeah, okay.
I might actually be able to pop by on the way back to say hello that Friday.
Yeah, turncoat.
No, Witzman dude. There has to be an oracle. Because Don has to have a chance to break.
Okay, you better say it quick. Don's fixing to run.
Oh, yeah. Don has to break the interpreter again.
Yeah.
Pickles!
Pickles!
Chair.
KT and TD will be down for the Oracle
Yay.
on Friday night.
Just on Friday? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll make the best of them we can.
Yeah.
We love them peoples.
All right, but yeah, I'm out of here for the night. I was just popped in to say good night to y'all, and all right.
Good night.
Good night.
Night, good dog.
Good dog.
All right. Now I got to click leave studio 3 damn times.
I never even had to do it once.
I click leave studio, then it has the pop-up of leave studio. Then it says leave the site. So yeah, now this time I'm gone. Bye.
Bye. Must be because he's an admin.
Unless Dan falls asleep.
Like that's going to happen. I don't have that much melatonin. That reminds me, I got to open that other bottle.
Night, Don.
Good night, Don.
The reason you don't normally have to deal with the extra pop-up for leaving the studio is because you wait around till the show is over.
Ah.
Once I hit end stream, leave studio works fairly seamlessly.
No, I usually leave during the bedtime story.
Oh, okay.
As an admin, his quickest way of doing it is just to either close out the tab and hit leave, so he's only having to click 2 things, or just hold down on the power button on the computer and say night night, Gracie.
And the Witzman dude is copping out on us tonight.
Good night, Carl.
Good night, Carl. Good night, Dawn. Good night, Mr. and Mrs. America and all the ships at sea. What's the one that Red Skelton used to say? Good night, Mrs. McGillicuddy.
Okay, who used to say good night, Mrs. Is it Calabash, wherever you are?
Oh, yep, that could be the right one. That could be Red Skelton as well. I'm not sure. It's been several years.
And tell me about it. We just finalized all the little details for my 50th high school reunion in 2 weeks.
I believe we've had our last high school reunion. the fellow that was the usual reunion organizer passed away unexpectedly, and not only does anybody want to take the responsibility, but everybody's afraid that if they show up and he's not there, it won't be a happy occasion, because we do miss him.
Mm. Well, out of a class of 33 people, counting the exchange student, we've lost a third of our class, 5 of them in the last year.
Yep. I've had some news like that about people that I used to work with at the factory. I had several folks I did not expect to go this young are gone. And I don't mean retired.
And Witzman dude got in trouble.
How?
Well, he went with me to the meeting because it was at a restaurant up in Rockville that serves pony shoes, and he loves pony shoes. One of the other committee members printed out our graduation picture in black and white. It's going to be placemat. He's going to print out enough so we have placemats with it. And so, there's everybody in their cap and gown, and I showed it to Carl, and I said, "Which one am I?" And he points to the shorty in the front row and says, "That's you." And I'm like, "That's Paula, who is my best friend in high school. Not only 3 inches shorter than I, but blonde." And he's like, "Oh, no, there you are, the long-haired gal in the back row. Good save, not good enough."
Oh. Lindsay has fun going through my high school yearbooks because I was on the yearbook staff for about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the other staff photographers thought it was really, really fun to switch my picture around with somebody else, usually one of the bullies that was picking on me most of the time that particular year. So I'd show up with his name and he'd show up with my name. And I'm just going, oh, you guys.
Well, then I showed him a picture of one of the guys who's on the committee meeting who hadn't arrived yet, and I said, "This is the fellow I've been telling you about that I had so much fun being buddies with in high school. You'll see why I didn't recognize him when he comes in." I mean, it's not just that he's bald instead of the long hair and, shall I just say, a bit rotund compared to the scarecrow back then. Usually you can look and see some feature in a person and go, "Oh yeah, that's so and so." No, I had to be told who he was, and I feel bad about that. We had such fun in typing class.
I'm always being asked, "Hey, you remember so and so from high school?" And I go, "That was last century."
Well, when you have such a small class as we had, and Rossville was wonderful. We didn't have cliques. I mean, we had geeks, we had our nerds, we had our athletes, but everybody meshed. Yeah, you kind of hung out with some people more than others, but you still got along with the other groups.
Mm.
And there was no, you know, how the upperclassmen make fun of the lowerclassmen, and
Oh yes.
there was none of that at Rossville. And I came in our sophomore year and was accepted so thoroughly that even in the first year I knew them, they'd go, "Oh, remember so and so in fourth grade?" And I'm like, "Haven't been here that long, folks."
Really, that's a little before my time, thank you.
That they're like, "Yeah, you've been here forever," and I'm like, "I love that you think that."
Yeah, not entirely accurate, but thank you for the compliment. All right, all right. Metastable, I know. Ah, I wonder what I knocked off on the floor that time. Oh, my copper pipe cutting tool. I'll need that next time the plumbing springs a leak. Ah,
Don't
matter
you
of
have
fact,
like a toolbox to put something like that in?
I've got 5 toolboxes. They're full. Ah, and Lindsay's just looking at me going, "You ain't buying another shed. You'll just fill it up." Uh,
Well, that's what sheds are for, right?
yeah. Oh,
That's like, I had an auction, and the big idea was to clear out some of the stuff in the garage so we could like, oh, put the van in there, maybe. And I'm sitting around the day of the auction after it's all over, just luxuriating in all this open, wonderful space. The bookshelves are gone. The knickknacks that were out there were gone. Everything totaled away. The van still does not have a place in the garage because he decided to bring other crap in. He's got a table saw out there. When was the last time he used that table saw? Oh, the day he bought it.
I've got one now that I have yet to use. I have plans for it. That's the reason I bought it. I've also got one of those miter saws. I've got plans to use it. I have not used it yet.
Oh, crap.
It doesn't mean I never will. It just means this job I've got to do would be so much easier if I had that tool. And it's on sale. Hey, women aren't the only ones with the on sale gene. I came by it honestly. I got it from both sides, my mom and my dad.
I do not buy things simply because they are on sale. I buy things I need and honestly use when they are on sale. I don't pay full price for most stuff. I don't have a shopping gene in my body.
Oh, I do. I do. I've looked at some of the emails I get advertising stuff from different stores, and I go, "Oh wow, that's cool." Okay, A, where would I put it? B, why would I need it?
Where would I put it? I don't have that problem. When we lived down on Greenwood Cemetery Road, we lived in a double wide back then. And because of my collections of books and cobalt blue glassware and stuff, after we got married, he's like, "You have to name where you're going to put that before you can buy something." After we moved in the new house, the game changed. It would be he'd come home and I'd be smiling and he'd say, "Find the new thing." 5,000 square feet of house. Yeah.
I've got about 1/5 of that. A little over 1/5 of that, but it's not an appreciable amount. Actually, when I was living in the trailer, I had an extra 200 square feet.
I
I could have had a house with a full garage and a basement with a bar in it, but no, my mom wanted me to help my little brother by buying his old house. Turns out they were the same damn price, and I would have just been 2 driveways down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that is the property that the tornado went through. So maybe I made the right choice after all. I do not know.
Well, that was the nice thing about it. Owners needed to sell in a hurry. We paid as much for this, counting the basement, 4-story house, as they paid for that 2-story ranch house across the street. We got a bargain.
Kiri, let this be a lesson to you. Never grow up. It's a trap.
I haven't even begun to grow up, anyways.
Who says
Well,
I'm grown up?
I've gotten older. I don't think I've grown up any yet. What have we here?
Kiri, you know we'll take any minute that we can get of you.
Indeed.
Well, hopefully, if this conference in Dalton, if I'm able to make it to that one, that'll put me close enough to come by and visit.
Yeah. Well, remember,
it,
you
Joe.
are always welcome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say what Joe. I don't care what Joe Dog says.
Who does?
Who
said?
Chris usually, but that's about the length of that list. You want to do what? Oh Lord.
No, it's gonna be some Hallowcon this time. All the regular reprobates besides Joe and Trey's gonna be down there. Rich, Misty, and Crow's gonna be down there.
All the regular reprobates plus some brand new ones.
Yeah. Angelina's gonna be there.
Angelina's been there before, hasn't she?
She was there last year. Yeah, that's how she got. That's how she got involved with this crazy group. Yeah, the only ones we'll be missing are Thesis, Kitty, and Emily.
All of whom have a valid excuse. They live too far away, and they don't have enough money.
Well, now that could be, especially since she just got married. But Emily lives in Southern Illinois. She's closer to y'all than I am.
And I would only be available the Friday of, so.
We show up on Thursday. I mean, seriously.
Carl won't show up on Thursday.
He won't?
No. He knows Joe Dog will put him to work, and he says he's only there to drink. He's not there to work.
Usually, it's Chris that asks me to do things. It's not Joe Dog.
Well, he's still not there to do today.
We all know that it's harder to say no to Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when Chris asks you for help, it's because he needs it. When Joe Dog asks for you to help, it's because he's got a cunning plan in mind, and you're not going to like it.
I was just going to say God's no. I couldn't say no to Chris last year.
Yeah, and he still can't wipe the grin off his face.
No, I didn't say no to you either.
No, but you understood.
Lindsay said I could kiss you.
Ooh.
She did give me strict guidelines. Oh, no tonsillectomies.
I don't do that anyway.
Oh, that's a tangent I'm glad got sidetracked. Sorry, my brain went to Bermuda for a moment.
It's a nice place.
It was, and then I sobered up, sadly. Ah. I don't know if I should say that on air.
Oh, go
There,
ahead.
no. I'm just going to say that there will be people that I will miss that are not going to be there.
Understood.
Because I like hanging out with them while they're working, and I will have to get used to whatever adjustments have been made because of their absence. So, oh well. Just raise a glass and toast to absent friends, and it'll be good enough. Where's that? Oh, there's that damn counter. I'm looking up at the screen, going, no, that's the date. Not how long we've actually been on the show.
I know when I come down, I plan on bringing at least one bottle of alcohol with me. Probably a form of Old Smoky for Donna and I to share.
There you go.
If I can pry it back out of her hands.
I'm very good at sharing. Hey, Mike.
Morning,
Hey,
Mike.
Mike.
But I was also going to stop and get a couple cigars to give to Donna and Carl, and one for myself, so I can sit on the patio and have one with them.
Hey, there will be lots and lots of patio sitting. Let's see. Home Alone unexpectedly, as I drove off Lowe's and Aurora yesterday to visit her mom. Okay. Well, still got to work in the morning, don't you? Reminds me, I need to go and visit my mom and talk to her about Dad's machine shop. Because I need more tools than I can afford to buy, and Dad's got them all. So there you go.
Hello there.
And
and everything.
I looked at the Life on Korra, the new issue update, and it's beautiful.
Yes, that looks phenomenal.
Looking forward to getting it.
Yeah, no, it's it's the proof, so it's finally done. So next week or the week after, it's going to print here.
Excellent.
That is very good news.
Well, this week was a busy week. My favorite niece turned 60 on the 9th. Yeah. Her father turned 77 on the 10th. And my mom would have been 97 on the 10th.
Mm,
So yeah, a lot of family pictures in the old Facebook stream.
I don't doubt it. Um,
I just wish the one great niece would share earlier pictures of her Grammy rather than the ones in the last days of the nursing home, because those are a little hard to see.
yeah, they do pack a punch. Uh, I can relate something similar. Uh, Google Earth still has photographs of my paternal grandmother's house while it was still standing. The aerial view is of the new house that's been built there by the people that bought the property. You go down to street view, it's still Granny's house.
Mm.
And I remember every rivet on those screen doors on the front porch and her um, Ringer washing machine sitting on the front porch and the water spigot in the front yard and how many steps it took me to tote the chamber pot to the outhouse behind.
At least you got a chamber pot. When I'd go and visit the cousins that were like a second mom and dad to me, of a night we had to go out and squat behind the bushes if we didn't want to go all the way to the outhouse. See my little toy?
Is that a monocular?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
that I recognized what it was just from looking.
I can't use regular binoculars because I can't get them adjusted.
Mm.
So Carl found this, I think, on Woot for like $10.
Cool.
And it's the Luke Skywalker model.
Yeah, so I thought, yeah, it's good. I can spy on the neighbors really well. I mean, do neighbors watch really well?
The neighborhood watch. It never took on a darker meaning.
Oh, did I tell you? Have I ever told you a story of when I turned my neighbor into the cops?
I don't believe
I
so.
don't think so.
So it was the neighbors before this one. And I look out my window and I see this scruffy dude, beard, unkempt hair, unkempt outfit on. I'm like, okay. And he tries the front door and he doesn't get in. And he goes around the house and he goes to the garage door and he figures out a way to open the garage door. And I'm like, shit, everybody's at work, right? So I call the cops. Turns out, oh no, it was him. He was on vacation, so he'd let his beard and stuff grow.
Let me guess. He was trying to bring you some misdelivered mail.
No, he locked himself out of the house, and his wife was at work. But he remembered that there was some kind of gadget on the garage door that he could push a button or something and open it, so he could get in from the door from the garage because it's all attached. And of course, I go out there because I'm figuring, okay, the cops are going to want to talk to me to know what I saw. And then I see them talking to this scruffy dude. Like, oh, okay, they got him already. Nice. Oh crap! It's so and so. He was not mad though. He said, "At least you were looking out for us." Because the place they had lived before, somebody had broken into their garage and stolen a bunch of stuff, and none of the neighbors who were home were either watching or just didn't even bother.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, thank you for understanding. But yeah, he worked in an office, so he was always really, really, really nicely dressed and well groomed, and I did not recognize him as a scruffy hobo.
Understandable.
Hey, I've got to admit, since I've retired, I've even stopped tucking my shirt in unless I'm going someplace special.
I wish I could teach Carl that. I understand with a shirt like you're wearing,
Yeah,
but those polo shirts, they were made to not be tucked in.
if I
Yeah,
put
keep
on a
his knees
polo
up
shirt,
as well.
I
I
wouldn't
don't
tuck
do
it
it.
in no matter
I
what.
do it.
See, my Staples ruined me for that because before I worked at Staples, I never wore a belt. I never had my shirt tucked in unless I was wearing like a flannel shirt with a white shirt underneath. I'd have the white shirt tucked in and the flannel over the top. But um, ever since I worked at Staples, like I have to have a belt on, and the shirt has to be tucked in. It just feels weird not having it tucked in.
Well, Carl has to wear a belt because that man has no butt, and his pants would fall down.
I don't know how
As
I don't know how I got away with not wearing a belt before I worked at Staples. To be honest,
as exampled by the time the eaves on the garage had fallen down, he was up on the ladder, put his arms up to push the eaves back on, and his pants fell down. And neighbor lady was out in the yard, and she got quite a show.
I bet you she didn't call the cops.
I'm surprised she didn't. She was a bit of a. Oh, never mind. I can't say that word.
It might have been blinded by the reflection, but
No, fortunately, he had his what do you call them? Not
Tidy
the
whitey.
no, they're not the tidy whities. They're the ones that look like almost like swimsuits, like almost like
boxer shorts.
Yeah.
they're
boxer
not box.
briefs.
Maybe yeah, they've got a special name for them, but yeah, he went to those.
They're the most
But
comfortable.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but no, these are the neighbors that reported us for the weeds in our yard, and
Oh,
so I'm surprised she didn't call the cops or anything, but
Oh, maybe she keeps hoping for another show. That's why she keeps calling the cops. She knows it's going to get
Fair
Carl
enough.
outside.
Got a good point.
she's hilarious. Carl will mow the lawn right when rain is forecast, so that he gets his yard mowed, and then it rains so the neighbor can't mow his yard. And then he comes out and mows his yard. The next day, she's out there mowing it again.
Good lord.
Like, evidently, he doesn't do a good enough job for her or something.
I don't know. We had
Sounds
one
like a need to me.
fellow a couple of miles up the road. He'd mow the yard every day,
Ugh.
but he had the lawnmower blade set all the way down. So anytime he ran over even the slightest hill, it just throw
That's
all of the
everything.
grass it'd just be bare spots all over. And come to find out, he was elderly. That's his main form of entertainment, and he was slowly sliding into dementia.
Well, now, see, if he lived here in Danville, he would know that he could ride that lawnmower without doing any mower. Just ride it all over the place. Yeah, we don't do golf carts in Danville. We do lawnmowers.
Oh, they do golf carts, and they do the little golf cart sized farm trucks as well. You'll be
The little
going down the
gators.
road
I love
going to the
gators.
store. Yeah, and there'll be one of those with no lights, no license plate, nothing. And I'm going, if I had done that back when I was a teenager, I'd still be in jail. Uh,
And what is it with you city folks that you have to rake leaves and rake your grass up? That's most
Yeah, I know.
people. That's most people. And then because you've raked that up, you spend money on artificial chemicals to make your lawn grow.
who you
Yeah.
calling city folks?
So I don't like mine.
I know plenty of houses around here that do that.
I
I
live
don't
so
have a
far out in the
garden. So.
sticks, we don't even get to Friday afternoon, or what is it, Thursday night Grand Ole Opry till Sunday. Uh, Speed of light is a thing. Uh,
Yeah,
no, I'm still only like 3 miles from the family farm. Uh, I have lived in cities before. I did not enjoy it, except for being able to walk to a grocery store when I knew driving a car at that point in time was out of the question. But there was a sidewalk. I could get down to the grocery store with a backpack and buy my groceries and come back. Um,
well, I'm pretty sure that's another reason the neighbors consider us the Beverly Hillbillies because we don't rake leaves, we don't rake grass stuff, and people laugh. We are on a stretch of the street in Danville that is known as Mansion Row.
mm,
I need to maybe sometime take a video as it go by. That's because there are so many houses the size of ours on about a half a mile strip.
Cool.
It's where all the movers and shakers built stuff back in the 20s and 30s.
no,
Beautiful
I
home.
I told Joe Bachman once about the way they repaved the middle of our road before they repaved either end. And they did
Mm,
so much better of a job on the middle, even though it was the part that was always in the best shape. I'm going down there and I can hear the difference in the sound of the tires when I go from our new pavement to that new pavement. I'm going, yeah, I know where all the rich people live on this road.
Hmm.
Hmm.
They recently did our street finally, and they did the sides first and then down the middle. And I don't care that they did that because now we don't have any potholes. Although there's already two starting at the end of the street.
We've got one that keeps coming back. It's down by the church too, which is really in a sharp curve. But I don't know what's going on there. But
rats.
they filled that thing in and filled it in and filled it. It's like if you didn't know better, you'd swear that you'd wake up the next day and there'd be a 50-foot sinkhole there.
So that sounds either like rats or a sewer leak.
There's no sewers. Everybody has septic tanks out here. We're too far out in the country.
Rats.
We don't have city water. We don't have sewers. It's right next to the graveyard. Um, it's right next to an expensive house, and
Still rats.
could be. I don't know.
I
What was
yeah. I used to be a paver in Amsterdam. So yeah, returning potholes usually rats in an urban environment at least.
Now we've got one place I know it's because several other times had been just patched up and moved along, but it was in the only place on the road that was low enough to where water
Mm.
would pool there when it rained.
Oh yeah, that'll do it too.
And in the wintertime, it would freeze.
And
Yep.
that'll do it.
And then it would
Yep.
sink. Yep.
And the new pavement they put on would just shatter from the cold.
Yeah.
And I just got skilled at knowing where the potholes were and watching the traffic so I could move out in the other lane,
Mm-hmm.
not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's how we catch a lot of the drunk drivers on our roads up here.
They don't
They're not-
avoid the potholes.
Yeah, they're not swerving to miss the potholes. The people swerving are the sober ones.
Who cares? I got suspension.
You're
Yeah.
going to need a new rim for that front tire, too.
Have the best suspension in the world, but you ain't going to have an underbody to that car anymore with some of these.
Mm.
The difference between some of our potholes and ditches are the fact that a ditch is alongside of the road.
Oh, there's one convenience store down at the end of the road across the highway. They actually put in a somewhat shallow drainage ditch in the parking lot.
Wow.
And if you've got a car that does not have a high enough ground clearance, if you go across that thing just a little bit too fast, your entire car goes boom and drags.
Yep.
I'm going, I never signed up to be on Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, yeah, I know those things are terrible.
Yeah, go ahead. We were happy to see that the railroad tracks at Boswell had been fixed. On a state highway, you had to slow down to 20 to not bottom out over these railroad tracks.
Mhm.
So we're coming up there last Saturday when we're coming up to StompCon, and Carl starts slowing down, and I'm like, "It looks even, honey." Oh yeah, they fixed it.
Bad part is with the railroad, there's nothing that the state can do to even fix it. We're not allowed to work in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We had one where a spur line where the train could back up and drop a couple of cars and pull forward and back into one of the factories to drop off raw materials in railroad cars. Originally crossed a paved road. And they pulled up all the railroad ties and all the rails for that spur line when they closed it down, except for the two that went across the road.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
And after 30 years, they finally pulled them up and repaved it smoothly through there. I'm going, no, I don't know what to do. I've been programmed to expect a bump here.
And the only reason why they pulled those up is because the railroad gave their blessing. Because even though it's an inactive line, that is still a railroad property.
Yep.
I ran into that with, I was doing a paving project up through Whiting, Indiana, up by the BP refinery. And there was one section that, and you could see the line over on the west side that disappeared into a huge berm. And we're talking, this thing was probably about 30 feet high of, dirt and grass. Came out, disappeared under our roadway. It was paved over the top. And then you could see it come back out under BP's gate, and even they had paved over it. Ain't nobody using the damn thing. If they decide to reactivate it, they're going to have to replace the rails anyway. And I said, well, can we just, when we mill this out, and we do all the handwork around it, and we just tear it out? Nope. Railroad property.
Mm.
Mm.
They doing with it?
That's like in Indianapolis, they created the Ronald Reagan street or whatever that's supposed to go directly to the airport. We're taking my cousin over to get on a plane, and it's snowing like hell. And she's like, "Well, this new road, Ronald Reagan goes straight to the highway. Turn off there. Don't go to the bypass in the long way." Okay, turn off it. It dead ends at the railroads because found out later they had not negotiated with the railroad in order to build around it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, that's yeah. Because of the snow, we ended up almost an hour late. It took us an hour to get what would have taken 10 minutes on the way around to get to the airport. She missed her plane and started to get mad. And I'm like, "You told me to take that road."
Yeah.
Yep.
That is entirely on you.
Mm-hmm. And then they came out and met her at the car with a wheelchair and fussed over her, so she was happy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Love her to pieces, but that's just the kind of person she was.
I remember one airport we changed planes at. Lindsay was having a bad time with her sciatica, so she boarded the plane with a cane
Mm-hmm.
because she knew sitting in that plane for 2 or 3 hours is going to make her hip just agonizing. Got into the airport. Security runs up with a wheelchair and they go, "Where's your departure gate?" And I go, "On the other end of the damn airport. We've only got 5 minutes. That's Denver for you." And they get her in the wheelchair at a dead run. They get her to the gate on time.
Yeah.
I am panting trying to keep up.
Well, the thing is, you wouldn't be the first. The moment that you're disabled, and you don't get to your plane on time because the airport did not care, they get sued and they lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I understand.
And the publicity.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And the
They didn't
publicity.
do anything. Go to the newspapers.
It was just so entirely unexpected. I mean, we would have both been able to hobble that distance in the required time, but it's like, "Oh, that woman's got a cane. Get her wheelchair, quick!" Yeah, I'm grateful, but it took me a while to figure out why. I have yet to be able to spend more than 15 minutes in the Denver airport. Every time we change planes there, and that's the only reason I've ever had to go there, it's like, you arrive at one end, your plane is leaving instantly at the other. I don't know why they schedule people like that. Maybe there's some truth to the rumors that there's an alien base under it. I don't know.
You'd be surprised what's under the Denver airport.
I would, because all I've ever seen is a couple of hallways and two gates.
Probably where they got Hoffa buried at. They got everybody rushing around, but they don't have a chance to actually look.
I can neither confirm nor deny that. My favorite airport story. We used to have an airport here in Danville. Well, we kind of still do, but it's only private planes now. But back when I was in college, we had a very, very large Arab community. Our college was in the top 10 of community colleges at that time, and it's certainly gone downhill, but which meant we had a lot of foreigners. Well, I was dating one of the Arabs, and two of them was going to fly home for the holidays. So a bunch of us go out to the airport to say goodbye, and I just remember there being a priest and two nuns out there who are staring at us because as the guys are going down the line saying goodbye, it's kiss, 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 kiss on the guys. They get to me, the only female of the bunch, and it's a handshake. And everybody's just staring like, oh, those guys are kissing other guys and just shaking hands with her. You just see the wheels turning. It was so much fun.
They're going to one of them pride things, ain't they?
Didn't have pride back then, remember?
I remember.
Mm.
And yes,
If
some
you-
of them were in the right place.
The traditional dress, the robes and
The robes and the
the burqas and whatever.
I gotta hop again because I actually have to go to work, sadly.
Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah,
Good night.
You have a good day.
I'm gonna have to work today and tomorrow. Then tomorrow I drive off to the other side of the country again. So there wasn't any hung animation yesterday because I unexpectedly sent Luce off there together with Aurora, and I wouldn't be able to be back in time. So I had to ask Nita to cancel it last minute, and yeah, it's gonna be a busy week.
Glad to find out that was the reason. I clicked on the link and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
I hope he's not sick.
No. But I was driving, and I couldn't cancel it in time because I can only cancel it from here or through Nita.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, could you cancel it for me? Because I'm never going to be able to be back in time. I got home at 8 p.m. and I normally start at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So hopefully next week, but no promises actually.
Hey, life happens.
So
Yeah, no, like next week we're having a family weekend, so gotta prep for that and do things, and not even sure if I'm gonna be here or at the other side of the country. Like we're kind of in the air right now.
So I'm going to ask the question because America. How long of a drive is it to the other side of the country that you're talking?
Oh, only 2 hours.
Okay.
It takes me 8 hours to get down to Georgia.
I can drive 2 hours in every 2.5 in every direction, and I'm either going to end up in the sea or in a different country.
Well, let's not do the sea thing.
Yeah, you can take the boat to England.
Well, if you take the boat, yeah, but you said in the sea, and let's not do that. On the
I'm
sea's
about
fine.
10 miles away from the coast, and it's like the Netherlands is about 200 kilometers wide, which is about 120 miles.
Mm.
And then like we got one bit, Limburg, that is one province that goes way further down south. But yeah, like that too is like 450 kilometers, so about 300 miles. Like we're a tiny country.
I know.
We could fit you in
If I
Illinois.
drove 2 hours, I still wouldn't be able to get to the little town in North Georgia where Hallowcon is.
Yeah.
I'd still
I'm-
be on the highway.
Yeah,
No.
but like I said, just because
Yeah.
I think a country, and I think everything is large.
No. Like Europeans and Americans have completely different ideas about what is far away. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
we plan to drive 2 hours to my mother-in-law for the weekend. In America, you go 2 hours.
So,
We're gonna do this tourist trap.
yeah,
Yeah.
some Americans are like, oh, that's my daily commute to work.
Exactly. Right.
I did have next door neighbors to my
Have a
house
good day,
farm.
Mike.
Good
Take
night
care of these.
or
See you
good
soon.
day. Yeah, I had next door neighbors there on near my family's farm. They would drive from here to Atlanta, which is like 90 miles, as a daily commute.
Mm-hmm.
Two and a half hours. Going from Indianapolis, which is damn near Dead Nuts Center in Indiana, you could go about 2.5 hours in any direction and end up in another state or Lake Michigan.
Let's not do that. Yeah, I was reading this one guy lives in Jersey, works someplace in New York. His daily one-way commute is like 5 hours. One way. And I'm like, okay. You must A, like your job, and B, love where you live.
And C, make about $350,000 a year.
Mm.
Because $200,000 of that's getting used on gas.
Yeah.
Unless it's a company provided vehicle and they're paying for it.
Well, it didn't say, but I wondered if maybe, I know they use a lot of trains out east to commute, kind of like Richie does.
Yep.
But still,
That's one thing I liked about England. If you had to go a long distance, you didn't think anything of getting a train ticket. It was just, why bother driving with all the traffic?
I watched Midsummer's Murders, and they walk everywhere.
Uh-huh.
It's like, Jones, we gotta be in so and so's house and stop this and pick up the murderer, and it's on the other side of town. And they start walking, and they were running. Okay.
I get in a car to drive 2 miles to go get more beer.
And that is the American way of life.
Hell, my mom has to well, nowadays she will drive it most of the time, but sometimes she'll walk it just for the exercise. Their driveway is 1/4 mile long,
Mm-hmm.
and it's uphill, one way, not both ways. Although it felt like both ways when it was in the snow. Still had to get up to the school bus on time. We did not get driven to the end of the driveway. We had to walk.
Yeah.
I used to think nothing of hopping on my motorcycle and going 90 miles to go to a bookstore in Atlanta and fill up a backpack with Doctor Who novels and then drive back in rush hour traffic on 285 and 85. And now I'll drive an extra hour to keep from having to go through Atlanta.
Well, folks, I'm starting to nod off, so I'm going to hop out.
Okay.
Then I got to fight a cat for my spot in bed.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel sleepy as well. I might,
Perfectly all right.
I might pop off as well.
All right. I will see you guys tomorrow night.
Okay.
Yes.
See you then.
See you.
I had forgotten that today was Thursday.
I will see you guys in the green room for
Cool.
tomorrow.
We'll see you.
Cool.
Y'all have a good night.
You too.
I'm gonna try. Good night.
If you had totally forgot it was Thursday, you wouldn't be here right now.
When Joe Dog schedules a show, I show up. Except for Armchair Rocket Science, because some of those are while I'm sleeping.
Most of them have been while I was sleeping, and a lot of times I have not getting the notices.
I have observed that several times, that it only shows up the next day as a recording and not as a live.
Right. And sometimes the launch doesn't go off.
Yeah, you'd be sitting there for an hour and a half, and they just go, "Oh, been scrubbed. Sorry, folks."
Couldn't you have figured that out an hour ago?
Evidently not. I mean, it is rocket science.
Oh, well, dear heart, another 30 minutes. Think we can do it?
We don't have to. And Carl will be glad to have a short show for a change. I mean, we don't have to. There's no rule that says this has to be 2 hours long.
Well, I haven't seen anything from Thesis since he said his thing was wonky, so.
Not even a comment. So yeah, they probably lost service temporarily.
Yeah, there's no one in on your channel's chat.
Not that I can see. And I've got both of them pulled up here. So not even in my channel itself, or all the places that Joe Dog's got this one scheduled in the StreamYard chat. So yeah, I think we're alone now.
I think so. Is it safe?
With you around, I doubt it.
I'm just a sweet person.
I know.
Innocent child.
That's what makes me suspicious. You're thinking of something.
No, not me. Not me. I forgot to ask my bed reader which book she decided I'm putting out next time. Of course, she's had a hard week.
Yeah.
Her oldest son is high functioning autistic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, Carrie, you can listen.
Yeah, really.
They're the ones that we go take care of the chickens and their cat while they're on vacation.
Yeah.
Well, Mike has the job of watering the chickens. Asked him Monday if he'd watered the chickens, and he said no. Oh, he said yes. No, he hadn't.
Oh.
Yeah, so he not only hadn't done what he was supposed to, but he lied about it.
That's not good.
They gave him a second chance. Did you water the chickens? Yes, I did. No, he hadn't. And it's been kind of warm up here the past 2 or 3 days.
Water evaporates, and chickens are thirsty.
So they took his electronics away from him, and he went on a rampage. A bad enough rampage that his little brother didn't want to sleep upstairs where he was, he wanted to stay downstairs because he was afraid Michael would attack him. Not good.
Nope, not good at all.
So she was trying to deal with that. And then younger son comes home from school all upset. Had a substitute teacher. They were supposed to write something in class. She, according to him, got in his face and yelled at him he needed to start writing and quit fooling around. And he says he wasn't fooling around, he was thinking of what he wanted to write. Yeah. So she had to deal with that. Contacted the teacher, and the teacher told her to contact the principal, and they're going to talk to the subs, who I understand they don't use a lot because they don't really care for her, but they're really having a hard time getting substitute teachers.
I understand that is a recurring problem in schools.
Mm-hmm. And getting worse all the time from what I hear. So there was a third thing. Now, we traded cats with them. We took Kimoni and they took Kiddo.
Yeah.
Kiddo had a wonderful summer. Now, Wyatt's gone to school. Wyatt's gone all day. The cat is inconsolable. And has stopped eating.
Oh.
So she's worried. So she's got 2 sons and a cat that she's worried about this week. There's nothing I can do to help her.
I can understand the inconsolable cat, because I've got a pretty good idea. If I were to open the door right now and have to go down the hall, there'd be a big hairy carpet in my way, because the German Shepherd's laying in the middle of the hallway going, "Daddy, come to bed." I mean, Lindsay let her get away with pretty much scheduling her bedtime.
Like the cats do with Carl.
Yeah. And I'm going, dog, if I don't stay awake till like 2, maybe 3 a.m., I'm going to be awake at 6. That's I mean, and I will just lay there in bed listening to everybody else snore. And if I get up and start drinking coffee, I'm only going to allow myself 2 cups. And I'm going, 8 o'clock in the morning is not a good time to be popping the top on a beer.
Yeah. Yeah, cats. If the cats had their way, Carl would be in bed at 9 o'clock every night, which is why he's up at 4 or 5 in the morning.
Exactly.
But he's a morning person, so that doesn't bother him so much.
I'm not. I want to stay in bed till about 10, no matter what time I actually go to bed. But if I wake up and it's not even 6 o'clock yet, I'm kind of at a loss as to what I can do to occupy my time before it's actually a reasonable hour to have a cup of coffee, or 2 cups, and then see whether or not I've got to drive anywhere that day. And if I don't, then I can have a beer. Seriously, if I don't have to get in the car and drive somewhere,
well, Carl thinks it's funny. Sometimes I'll be awake when he goes down to make coffee, and he'll bring me a cup, a small cup, which I'll drink, and then I'll lay back down and go back to sleep for an hour or two.
Mm-hmm.
Caffeine does not wake me up like it does for other people. It relaxes me.
I gave Lindsay one of my melatonins because she was trying to go to sleep and she couldn't. She told me the next day, never do that again. I was awake all night long. It worked like.
The opposite on her.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
She can drink tea, she can drink coffee and take a nap right away. You give her a sleeping pill, she's awake all the time.
That's like they keep telling you if you're very anxious, smell lavender. Get lavender. No. I smell lavender, I start to get pissed off. It's just the opposite on me.
She actually has a lavender spray she will put on the pillows sometimes. And that does let her nod off quickly, but she's awake
Hmm.
a whole lot sooner than she would be. And she still, I mean, she is kind of like being a farmer's daughter. You get used to getting up at 4 in the morning to milk the cows.
Mm.
She gets up at 5 in the morning to feed the cats. And I'm going, honey, um, you know, you can feed them anytime you like. They're still going to eat and they're still going to beg for more.
um, I had lunch with April yesterday, and we're confirming the dates that we're going to be gone for Hallowcon because she's going to come in and feed the cats. And she's like, "Well, the one of those days it's going to be after 10 a.m." And I'm like, "That's fine. They're used to eating at about 10:30 a.m. eating their soft food." And she says, "Well, I didn't want to, make them upset that they weren't getting fed." And I'm like, "No, upset was what they were Saturday. We left at like 7:30, 8 o'clock to go to StompCon over in Indiana."
Yeah.
And Carl's like, "You want to feed the cats?" And I'm like, "They're not going to eat now. They're not used to eating wet food now. They're going to have to wait till we get home. And trust me, when we get home, they will eat it because, cats sometimes they don't." Yeah, we didn't get home till like 4:30, 5 o'clock. Yeah, it's about time you fed us. And what? We're only getting one game of laser tag? Because usually Carl plays laser after lunch and then after supper, so they get two. Yeah, they were not happy Saturday.
Mm.
Too bad. They're going to be a
Well,
lot more unhappy come Hallowcon.
we've actually got an extra cat inside the house now.
Funny how that happens.
No, I mean, I don't know if it's one of the ones that's used to being on the porch or if it's one of the ones that are used to being in the backyard inside the chain link fence. But I'm sitting back here last night and got a cat rubbing against my leg. I go, "Hello, Billy." Wait a minute, you're not Billy. You're Violet.
Yeah. Billy
Totally different tabby pattern there.
Billy said it was so
what are
great
you
in
doing
here.
in the house?
Billy said it was so great, I thought he'd come in and try it.
Pretty much, yeah. She got an extra bowl. She got an extra bowl of Billy's food because I keep some cat food back here because he'll come back here and annoy the piss out of me till I feed him something.
He's
I'm
got
going,
you
you're not
trained.
you're not getting any of my chicken strips. Here's some cat food. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and call it a night.
Okay.
and we'll reconvene tomorrow.
All right, sweetheart.
You have a good one, and I will try and be in bed before 3. Oh,
Maybe be up in time for Nevermind the third one.
no.
Good night again, Carrie.
Good night, Gary. No, there's no chance of that. I'm sorry, but I don't do mornings anymore. Except
don't blame
if I've
you.
got an appointment. It's just the world is too people-y out there, and
Tell me about it.
I can't just sit here and watch YouTube videos forever.
Why not? Carl is. Did I say that out loud?
I've got other shit I need to be doing.
So does he.
No wonder you and Lindsay get along so well.
Hey, no, I don't have a honeydew list. It's just he's got shit to do, like go on and crap.
Well, see you tomorrow night.
See you then, love. Night
Good
night.
night.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.